Well, good evening, folks. As usual, we're the garage here coming at you live and direct. We have a special guest, um, two special guests with us, and we're going to talk about the legendary, historical things coming from a legend we have sitting on this table here for all times, from times upon times upon times. And we're going to jump right into it without further ado. On our panel, we got the famous, legendary, historical man from all over that created the music legendary reggae of all times. As what he said, we are sharing with you Mr. Leroy Hamilton in the house.
Thank you. Good evening. Nice to be here live and direct.
Live and direct.
Yes,
And
a
our,
wonderful evening.
and our second guest on our show, Sean, right?
Yes.
Our second guest on our show is also a
Gordon,
music
producer.
pioneer. He does a producer. Sean, give us a little bit about.
Yes, well, my name is Sean Gordon. Um, I'm a recording engineer, graduate from the Conservative Recording Arts and Sciences
Mm,
in Arizona. I've done television production, film directing. I went to that's with my brothers in Manhattan and Harlem. Um, Brother Roger Giles.
uh,
He's also into the film industry. Top 100 filmmaker right now, or something like that. And I went to Full Sail University for music production. So I know how to make beats professionally.
right,
Stuff
right.
like that.
That's good. A man with full of talent. So we're gonna get right into our main topic. We have Mr. Hamilton here, and we're gonna discuss his past, his history, his contribution to this society when it comes to music, and how today society is still living and enjoying those moments what Mr. Hamilton helped create, and as we continue to listen and enjoying those type of music at these in these current time. So, Mr. Hamilton, welcome again to the show.
Yeah, man.
On the garage. We are delighted that you can stop by and join us. As you can see, we're outside.
Yeah. That's
We
good.
usually be inside
Fresh
our,
air.
our, our spot, but as you said, we don't have no restriction. When it comes to the garage, we don't have no restriction. We everywhere out. So you can see we outside in the neighborhood of Mr. Leroy, and we are delighted that we have this great opportunity to for him to share with the world his historic moments up until this moment. So, Mr. Leroy, welcome
Yes,
again.
man. Welcome
Thank you
to
for
yes.
joining the garage.
Nice, man.
I appreciate you spending the time with us and sharing with us what we are enjoying from the fruit of your talents at this time and time. So, Mr. Leroy, tell me how this all began.
I am a country boy. And I started out just listening to birds. And, in the rain season, you have the frogs that sing in harmony. I learned to play my guitar before I come into music business. And the knowledge that I gain is superb, yes, because all those reggae artists, the first run of them before Bob Marley came, them get to try themselves on the reggae.
Mm,
Because they were mostly ska and rocksteady singers. But a couple of them tried them best with the reggae music. All right, so I'm being blessed to start it out with those early legendary singers and musicians.
Yeah, who are those singers?
Well, you have let's start from, say you have Culture, and you have Gregory Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
you have Burning Spear is always there, And, those are legendary early runner in the reggae thing. And they excel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of all of them because there's a little part of me, a little part of me in every one of them.
Right, right.
So, I'm proud of all of them just to let them know that I see them work and I appreciate the work. And when we started out, we didn't get much support from the Jamaican people at the time. Let's call it Jamaican people. Not everybody, but
So
you know.
the type of support you're talking about, meaning people weren't supporting the type of music.
No, them it was new to them and them didn't understand it yet, and you didn't have the Bob Marley who come to show them how to dance it.
Right. So because they couldn't understand it,
No, they couldn't understand the dance of it. Well, the Jamaican people create the dance, after them accept the music. Because
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
in our society, you have people who will talk down this thing and people who will lift it up and people will proud that, pride in it.
Right.
So we don't lose nothing because the people them say what they want to say and the music survive the same until even them start to accept, that this is really our creation. We are not people who adapt some some foreign ideas. It's our local ideas.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have problem getting the Rasta people them in it. Because when I started out with guy like Mr. Benson. Yeah, man. Those people are studio. Yeah, and they control the runnings of the music.
So you're saying the Rasta
No, wasn't involved.
wasn't involved?
Wasn't included, and them didn't want to include Rasta people who have some dread and thing.
Mm-hmm.
Them don't want to include them people.
So you were Rasta at the time?
Yes, not dread like this, but I was
But
Rasta.
you
because
were
they're
Rasta.
different Rastafari.
Yeah. So what's the
Yeah.
difference between you have Rasta and you have Dread? What's the difference between those two?
All right, well, Rasta is people like this now. It's not a hairdresser dread. It's just this is dreadlocks.
So is the length of the hair what makes
No,
you a
not the
Rasta?
length, not the length of the hair. No, the hair doesn't make you a Rasta.
Oh, okay.
The heart and mind.
Heart
to
and
be
mind.
Rasta. Yeah, yes. It has to be in your mind, it has to be in your heart, and you accept Rastafari and you love the life and we live the life because it's a rough life.
Right.
It was not like what you see. These young guys are full joy in the life of Rasta. But they didn't really work for it. The early guys them represent all the hard work and just a little pay.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you see they might go around, they wasn't making much music. None of us was making much money out of the music. But all right, so we survive anyway because we start from nothing.
Right.
Just the grace of the Most High God, and He give us ideas. And all them guys who come to play with me, like Aston Barrett, family man, Carlton Barrett, the marshal, the drummer. Those are guys, Tyrone Downey, those are the guys who uplift this thing here with them skill. Earl Linda Wire. They are skillful keyboard player, but we didn't start with them.
Didn't start with them.
No, reggae didn't start with them.
So give me a little bit before you come a little bit further. So what intrigued you for you to have this desires of want to play or get involved with music or play I guess your favorite instrument was what? The guitar?
Yes, the guitar.
All right. So what intrigued you for you to have this desire where you want to play the guitar out of all the instruments? You have the drums, you have the guitar, you have the keyboard, etc., etc. But what propels you now to have the desire to want to play the guitar?
Okay, well, my father, Leroy Hamilton, him talk to this lady before him leave Jamaica about me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I was like 2-3 years old. he want Mother Sound to teach me to play the drums. So I learned the drums first.
So you also play the drums?
Yes, I play the
Oh,
drums. I play a lot of little instrument that you don't
yeah.
understand. I
Man, are
play
full of talent.
I,
People you can see.
yes, I can do all the tracks myself. Even though you say I call people to do this, I help me with that.
Hmm.
But I know to play all the tracks. Nobody can really spite me when it comes to music because I know how to arrange. And as I said, I didn't have nobody to help me to arrange my music because they don't know what I'm doing. This is my music.
Hmm.
I make this thing. So you cannot come and tell me that beat should be where A should be what and what. You know, it's like
So
I'm
you,
the creator of the thing.
so you, it seems like you have some musical knowledge, like you were taught somewhere down the line to understand the music. So when you use the term of they don't know the beats and the different things, are you referring to, you have and you can back me up, you have when you have the A note or the B note or key there or so forth, that is what you're referring to?
Not quite. We are creative musicians and we don't take nothing from no one to build our thing.
Mhm.
Because it's my idea. And if I tell you to play doom 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 on the drums, that's how the beat gonna fit in.
To base on what you're designing.
Yes,
Okay.
because me design it. It's
Right.
my idea. It's my creation. So if you work along with me, we're gonna have a good result. But people sometimes when I'm going to the recording studio, they get cold feet, whatever it is, but it doesn't work out so like they, can hold the fort.
Mm-hmm.
But I still work with that because I like to work with people who are not professionals. They're just coming into the thing. And with some advice, we can create and do great things.
Okay.
Because the thing about it is that in this business here, it's not how much you was taught, it's how much you could create without being taught.
Mm-hmm.
So I create, and if you will go along with me, we can make great music.
So you weren't physically taught by a teacher sitting
No,
there.
no, no. But I tell you how I catch on to this thing before you ask.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, she lead the choir in the church.
The choir in the church.
My grandfather is a musician in the church.
So you were a church boy then?
Yeah, I'm a church boy.
Uh-huh.
I learned all my little skill from listening. I carry
Okay.
my grandmother songbooks, them, and her tambourine and her Bible to church. I'm the one who carried those things for her. And I sit there and she lead the choir, she form the choir, she choose who have the voice to please sing a part, and I learned those things and how you go about making your harmony. So I learned that from my grandmother
Mm-hmm.
because she was so active in the church. So I'm blessed to have these people to pick up something from. Yes, and I try hard with that. Nobody in the family at my stage of life, and nobody really take on this burning of music. Because my grandmother says that the music that we playing is rags music, is not gospel music and things.
So they didn't like the type of music?
No,
when
no,
you
they wasn't into my type of music, but them didn't hear the reggae.
Oh,
No.
they didn't hear the reggae at
No,
the time?
because they have, you see these church people, them have special way of going about them things.
Right,
As
right.
me say now, I rather have the guy who just know a little on him instrument and will take advice and we can make good music.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my grandmother now, she actually spent time and years and years and years, and for every season, they have a program. And they don't call it concerts, they call it program. And in my church at that time, Pilgrim Holiness Church, I tell you that there's a couple affiliated church that come together and have convention at the end of the year or 4 year or whatever. They have a big convention where the whole church come together and perform.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother is looking up every year she win the damn thing, man. Trust me.
Every year.
Every year. Until them have to ask, I say, well, look, man, you don't lose, though, but
Want to give
we have
somebody a
to
black.
encourage. Yes. Others have to be encouraged. So I learned something from that to say, if you're good like that, sometimes you have to leave space for others.
For others to join
Not
our.
because you could not be, you could be on the show, but let's give somebody else
An
encouragement.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yes, we call it encouragement because they sit and they listen, and sometimes them song will get me there. It's not so appealing, but something. This is how people build things. You have to include others, not because you let's say you use that word professional, but those who's catching on have something to offer.
Right.
Yes. The person who doesn't know much about music have something to offer. And sometimes it surprises you to hear the song they sing and how they do it. Anyway, I was blessed to start with that family. And when I buy my guitar, I come to town and I could play my guitar. Yes, I could play my guitar. Because I practice all those songs that they sing in the church. I practice it by myself. I don't rehearse. I practice.
So you're a person like I learn by listening or watching.
I learn by listening.
So I'm a visual
and
learner.
watching.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't read. I read a book and it takes me about 3-4 times before it click.
It click in.
You show me or
Yeah.
I listen.
Yeah.
It done.
Right.
It gone.
Right.
So I pick up from there. So basically, you're sounding like that's your same learning curve.
Yes. That's how I approach it because I didn't have a teacher to say, well, then you have to do this and you have to do that. And that is why the reggae come. Because maybe if I have a teacher, the teacher would start to show me now that you could do this and you could do that. But there was no one to confuse me.
Right.
It was just my ideas. And something. I'm on an interview. Excuse me? Yes, my brother.
Yeah. So I want to kind of step back a little bit. So what you kind of give me a drift of where the music started and how you started developing the likes or the love of music. But one of the curiosities, like I will always have this curiosity: what propels someone to become a Rasta? What?
Rasta people was the only one who promote this music, Virgin.
So when you
if
see
Rasta wasn't in it, it wouldn't get where it is. Right. No. Let me tell you straight up. Rasta people start to support the music because Rasta people are creative people. Them like to create and you listen to them and like all these songs that them create. Them wrote these songs, sing these songs. They are creative people.
Not to cut him off, but the term Rasta is very much deeper than what we know.
What we know it as.
Yes, in our culture in Jamaica, on the average person. But like me, he can go deeper because he's coming from a time, that before me, who these earlier guys understood something about something that was special in human life. Why they refuse all the beauties of life, things like big luxury and money and comfort and all the pleasures that could take them away, but they sacrificed it because of the spiritual gain from what they
from within.
Yeah.
So because you saw that the Rastafarians is more into the music and would help create things, you gain the love or you gain the likings of want to become a Rasta, or this was just something you form out of your own
I
likeness.
I couldn't tell you that I didn't know anything about Rastafari, but my grandmother has this saying that she made these terms sometimes so often. you are the Rasta in the family. I mean, it's not the Rasta. You are the Jew in the family. And she constantly saying all these things, because Rasta Jew. So you what now? If me are the Rasta and I'm me are the Jew, it keep like it. They didn't know what is Rasta. Me didn't even know me a Jew, and me didn't even know what is Jew.
So, to enlighten the folks and to get a better understanding, including for myself. So, we have the type of Jews here, Are you saying that the Jews, what we know of today's time, what's also in Israel, those are the type of Jews you're referring to when you said you're Jew?
All right, so we have a mix, not like other places. We have mixed people, and you are Jew. You have black who's Jew, and you have fair-skinned people who's Jew. People who have pretty eyes, what kind of eyes, glassy eyes, or, whatever it is, they're Jew, they're Hebrew people.
So you're more likely referring to DNA type?
Well, we don't know. I'm not familiar with the DNA thing. We never go off that. We don't learn nothing about that. We just learn the people, them know them is Jew, and we is Jew from up there, we is Jew. And have to learn and find out what is Jew.
So what I'm coming across with is that how do I know that I am a Jamaican because my parents told me and I experienced the culture.
Yes.
So from that experience, I know that I'm a Jamaican.
Yes.
But now how do you define, since you weren't born into a Jewish culture, right? Yeah. How do you define that you are a Jew?
Well, not to cut you, I just want to kind of enlighten you towards a question. So, Mr. Hamilton, when he used the term Jew, my forefathers, they say that terminology with a different type of understanding when it comes to people, like how Jamaica is out of many one people, because it's relating back to the biblical understanding of what Jew means. But today's day, the question you ask, a lot of people are confused because they know of a people called Jews that are in Israel today. Right?
Jamaica is a country, and people don't understand that it's Jamaica.
So Jewish is as you said,
the name Jamaica. That people say Jamaica, not Jamaica, it's Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah. And people don't understand that Jew is very much involved in this. Because we have Jews land, we have Jewish, Jew cemetery, we have Jew property, we have Jew everything that you know about Jew. That you could say, well, I know this about these Jew people. And they don't like the pride in to be Jew. That's not the case. They are all humble people and then go around and quietly you do their own thing, and they are independent people. Long before Jamaicans talk about independence, these people feed themselves. All the things that we want, they cultivated it. Yeah. And we cover the whole spectrum of food and drinks. Because we have a coconut water, we have everything.
Right.
That to our comfort. And these Jew people live a quiet life. They wasn't all over the place. I'm a Jew. You don't. All of them is Jew. You is Jew. So you don't know because them don't tell you that he is Jew, and some of them probably don't think it's important to remind you and to say you are Jew. You have to go research and find out now, because Jew people are all type of shades.
Yeah, so what he's saying, when he says Jew, it means Judah. It's an abbreviation for...
Yes, because we are
for the tribe, okay.
So the Jew is a loose term for the tribe of Judah, which is from ancient Israel in Jerusalem, right? But the truth about it, all the nations of the world have a bloodline that's traced to Judah.
Jew.
Oh, okay.
It's just recently now, understand now that the 12th tribe is not everybody them find yet. Right. And them coming from different parts of the world. I'm just knowing that now. I'm learning that now.
Okay.
I didn't have no knowledge of nothing, not even of myself, really. So Make
All right,
that
so
clear.
I see where how you break it down and where they come. I kind of have a full understanding now. So let's jump back into now. At the point in time, you're a country boy, and you know you went through the church to start educating yourself when it comes to the music, and this is how also you started learning in the music industry, and this is where now you venture out on your own to do your own thing. You kind of sidetrack from the church to go out and do your stuff, what you like or what you feel like you want to create.
Exactly. Now, the point is that, you know, my ideas is way different from what the church is telling you. I didn't go after church idea, but I learned how to arrange harmony, and that was one of my biggest gift in life from my grandmother, because she teach the choir. But when I grew up now, I know I couldn't stay in there because them call every music rags music and it not like it's godly music. Now, I couldn't understand why them says not godly music. Because everything was created by the Lord God. And they are older people that didn't realize now that it's God who created all things. Because they don't talk like that. They give against the music, then give against dancing. They doesn't dance. You know, Church of God of Prophecy is my uncle,
Mm-hmm.
my granduncle. And, you know, Altiman Richards have this church up there in Paul Mountain. And those people getting, them have a thing them call getting the spirit. When them services are on and going,
Mm-hmm.
people get in the spirit and speak in tongues, and we call it speaking tongues. They were speaking Jewish language. They were speaking the language of whole, the Hebrew language. And I realized now that a lot of them study the language. So when the music is going and the singing is going and them get into that state, there, you know, they start to talk in different tongues. I always say seems as if it is confusion. But then I go to learn that it is not a confusion, it is a spiritual thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't understand that the spiritual things are not physical things, we start to understand better. Me and you can share into the light of them speaking in tongues.
So one of the things why what can kind of confuse me too when it comes to this tongue speaking, because from a biblical level, what I understand tongue speaking is I'm speaking a different language where
Yes.
anyone can understand. So, for instance, you have Spanish, you have um, Portuguese, you have what else? You have Hebrews, you have Latin, so forth. So you have a culture of people would understand those language. What I'm sometimes confused with these churches who claim that they're speaking in tongues is that this guy would be over there chiming in certain things, and then you will ask the next guy beside him and will say, you know what he's saying, and he said, oh well, he's saying that this and that, and then you go and ask the guy who is chiming to share with you what he was saying. He tell you something else different.
Because he doesn't know.
So,
Yeah.
but
He
that
does it in the spirit.
so that
He
wouldn't
don't know.
so that wouldn't mean that you're speaking in tongue, because remember,
No. That's
Look,
how you.
the
One second.
language, yeah.
I speak in tongues.
mhm.
Now, this has always been a confusion growing up because I've been speaking in tongues since I've been a child, and you can't just speak in tongues like a language you learn or a language that's out there that we know of. Tongues is really a language of angelic language.
Yes, a
So
spiritual
it's
thing.
not language that a human man can that is learned of ABCs or a nation's language can understand unless the divine decides to use that moment of speaking in tongues to translate to a common language. So, um, in order to speak in tongues,
Mm-hmm.
there's only one way that it can be done. And not because someone does speak in tongues is like they're either more than somebody, or there's a difference in the person because they themselves know how they reach to that point. But hallelujah, which is the highest praise of God towards God, that's the only way you can speak in tongues, which is that's why you see when they're in church and they go to the altar call
Mm-hmm.
and they're there saying hallelujah, which is the only way you can get there,
It's a praise.
is a praise. But that praise is an ancient Hebrew sentence. It's
Mhm.
not actually one
Yeah.
word. So hallelujah means praise, and Yah is actually the name of
Yahweh,
God.
which is
Yahweh
Yahweh
Elohim.
of God, right?
Right. So when you speak that ancient angelic sentence, ancient Hebrew sentence, it actually connects you literally to a physical experience with God inside. So most people, not everybody gets to that point because it's like a challenge. That's
Mhm.
why they go to the altar. While trying to speak in tongues, when you're saying hallelujah, you
Mhm.
get weak and you actually the evil spirits actually come around you towards your mind to make you believe that this is foolishness. If you pierce through the barrier of thinking it's foolishness and the fact that you're actually weak, and you get to the point where your tongue literally changes into
Mhm.
another language that you yourself can't understand, because now God himself is moving your tongue on its own. Now your mouth is moving on its own by forces and powers that you can't see.
So, according to biblical, which you believe in the Bible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, based on, and I can't give you a specific text. My mind is kind of shabby right now when it comes to memorying of scriptures.
Okay.
Nonetheless, it's something I can look up and get to you. But the Bible specifically talks about the tongue speaking. It's referring to language. What I may not know how to speak Spanish,
Right.
but you would have someone else out there definitely
Right.
who is another Spanish speaking can speak Spanish and
Right.
would understand what the person is saying.
Yes.
Now, to bring it home now, if I'm speaking in tongues,
Mm-hmm.
there should be someone within our midst that understanding the same thing, because remember, God is not a God of confusion. So if he caught me in the Holy Spirit, or pounced me in the Holy Spirit for him to anoint himself on me, or anoint me and bring me up in a higher level,
Yes.
and I'm going off now into me, as what you said, as tongue speaking,
Yes.
I think other person who are also spiritual beings, who also are Christians,
Yes.
or whatever the case may be, would understand what the person is saying.
No,
So
because it's not meant. It's on the observation side, it
Mhm.
would look like that. But if you know the laws biblically, it tells you that tongues is not for the person that is hearing it. Tongues is actually for you, the one that's speaking it.
So the one that's speaking it,
It's for
he's
them.
the one, or she's the one who is really benefiting from
From
because
the tongues.
they're the one who understanding.
Not understanding. They're the one who now spirit is connected to the divine and is being fed through the tongues.
Mhm.
So, like, I can hear you speak in tongues,
Mhm.
but if I pray, I can translate, right?
Mhm.
But that's only if I want to translate, if I decide to ask for the translation. And then when it's given to me, even though I speak in tongues,
Mhm.
I can speak it by faith. And I've experienced that growing up my whole life. I'll speak in tongues and I can translate myself for what I said. So it depends on the gift of the person and what their tongues is about. But biblically, it says that if they're in a congregation
Mhm.
and like how you heard it and you have no knowledge of why this person is speaking in a confusing tongue that you don't understand, they should ask for a gift
Interpretation.
interpreter. So God should bless them with an interpreter, but not everybody's on that level in
To
churches
interpret it.
To
Yeah.
interpret.
It's an interesting thought, and as I said, I experience these things at times, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, and I know sometimes it's confusing to society, but it's an interesting thought, and I think something like that we will pick up again.
Yeah, but
in the
I don't
earlier
want to.
future.
I don't want to break away. I want to connect it right back to Rastafari.
Right, that's where I was going to go back to
It's
it.
kind of the same thing because we say Jew and Judah, but inside of Judah, there's a hidden people that we ignore all the time, and it's come out to be known as Rastafari. What do I mean by that? Jesus Christ of Nazareth was born in Nazareth,
Mm-hmm.
and he started the Nazarene sect or group of people. So those 12 disciples that moved with him
Mhm.
were Nazarenes. Jesus Christ himself, or I don't call him Jesus Christ, but people know him as
Yeshua.
Jesus. I
Know
call
him.
Yeshua, right?
But he has many names, right?
No, he only has one name. But
people use
in
those, you see?
Yeshua, so when he died on the cross, there was no English language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So his name would be in Hebrew at the time when he died.
Mm-hmm.
Not because we're in modern times, I would take away from the existence of his name being actually Hebrew and what his mother and society called him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not because we want to understand it in our own terms, but I give him the respect and call his name as it would be called when he died on the cross.
Which is in the Hebrew language.
Which is in the Hebrew language,
Mhm.
because if you go deeper, you understand its reality. But not to segue from what I'm saying is that not the Nazarene order
Mm-hmm.
is where the locks come from.
Yes.
So you wouldn't be a Nazarene without locks, and they were the rebels. So Jesus Christ had locks.
Mhm,
You understand what I'm saying? And the early Rastas in Jamaica, they took the Nazarene vow. And in order to truly be a Rasta, you have to take a Nazarene vow, just like Jesus Christ.
So you would call, you said Jesus has Rasta, so you would you're referring to because he has long hair,
No, long locks.
long locks.
He will have locks, not
Okay.
here.
No,
When we say
Christ
here,
have locks like this.
locks
Christ.
like that,
Locks
because he's
like
a
this.
Nazarite. He's a
And,
Nazarene.
you
Mm.
know,
In order to
decide
to be a
beside
Nazarene, you
locks.
take a vow to not cut your hair and keep it in locks.
Mm.
Which means you separate from wine, you separate from pork, which is sacrificed to idols from that time. So we don't eat pork not just because we're saying, oh, it's a bad meat,
Mhm.
or not because things happen like maggots, but biblically, the pork was used to sacrifice to actual stone gods.
I can see where, because you know Samson, right? And God told Samson
Right.
not to cut his hair, but
Yes.
it's not because the power was in the hair.
No.
It was a connection of obedience.
Yes, a
when it comes to
covenant.
right. So it wasn't basically because he cut his hair, he lost the power, and because the power is all in God, and He's the one who give it and take it power. So it was more of a symbolic level where it's referring to obedience, because his tribes, they usually they have long hair too at the time, and
Yes.
it was a symbolic level from their culture, just like we have
Right.
the Rastafarian. It was a
Right.
symbolic level, but it's a deep stuff where we're going to. But we will jump. I mean, one. I mean, this is not the first we're gonna do this, so we're gonna have more episodes of these where we sit down and we talk with a legend, and these things may come up and so forth. So we're gonna jump up. We're gonna jump right back into our little main program. So Leroy,
Yes, man.
when you reach at a point now, you in the church, you gain the music, you become a Rasta, or you started becoming a Rasta. Take me that from there at that point now, when you start a venture in the world, you decide to leave now, and you go try to find yourself or find where you belong with
I
your
was
talent.
thinking, let me tell you something. The most I took through all of these levels, I cannot say I venture it.
So the most I guide you
Yes,
to go.
God
Okay.
Himself, the Most High, that I refer to as the Most High, because my inspiration comes from right there. I cannot say of myself that I have this, I have that, I have nothing. But when it comes to music, the Lord lead me into this thing where I make this rhythm, this type of music, and it was like I understood what I was doing. I didn't even know it's a new music. It just turned out that when everybody said, and I started to criticize it and say, then I started to realize, wait, hold on. This really is a new music. And then I look around, I don't see anyone to help me to build the thing. Like they have ideas, because it's just my thoughts.
Mhm.
It wasn't nobody else. And, I put plenty bands together. The first band is the RHT Invincible Band.
What's the band name?
RHT Invincible. It was Invincible Band.
Mm-hmm.
And Father Gooden, he said, look, I'd like you to put the Rainbow Healing Temple in the thing. So it becomes Rainbow Healing Temple Invincible Band. Started out with me, Ansel Collins and Lloyd Adams, thing like. And we developed this music. But it's a lot of rehearsal to get the brethren them to play the thing, and we go into studio and waste a lot of time. But we get help, from the Kuris.
From the who?
Kuri. There are people from Lebanese. They are Lebanese, the Kuris.
Oh, okay.
They are Lebanese. And they have, this studio is the best recording studio that's built for a recording studio. Others just build up a place, and just put equipment in it and so on. But that place was built for the purpose. And eventually I get half an hour. I could rent half an hour in them time there. The music didn't come to a fullness because as we near finish, somebody make a mistake. And, we have to go over again because it's 2-track. Everything.
So I want you to
recorded
explain to the
mix.
people and what you mean by 2-track.
We
From a
record
musical
on
standpoint.
tapes. We record on tapes.
Mm-hmm.
So we start out with 2-track tapes. You can cut your stamper from that because the record is like a mix take we do. And that time it didn't come out well, but I get time from the Coolies. I get 2 hours to do the thing. I was supposed to sell the song to Mr. Cooley. But here what happened now. Nobody know how much to charge for the song. Well, just the music, because the instrument, I didn't get to put voice on it.
So I just want to give you a little insight as a recording engineer.
Mm-hmm.
When he says 2-track, in his time, there was only 2 spaces that was available for recording before Les Paul actually made the multi-track recording board where you had like 40 tracks. So where you can add a whole bunch of like snares, kick, everything on its own track. So and in his time, you had to set up like one microphone.
Yeah.
And you would stand in front of it,
Mhm.
and the bass player would stand on side.
And the band circle it,
The
way.
band would circle one microphone, and then on one track you would have the beat. Then one microphone would go to the singer, and now you just have 2 tracks: the beat and the singer.
And the sing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I always, when I hear it, I mean, eventually I understand what it means as I get older. But it was something, and I learned this really late to in my years of growing. Like I know it like decades ago. I mean, this was maybe a few years. I really ventured, and it's like, what is a 2-track thing? And I discovered the same thing what you were sharing, which was really interesting. And I give kudos to those guys because, I mean, sometimes when you even listen to those music and comparing them to now, they're not really far different, when it comes to talent or how these guys put it together. I mean, you have it a little bit more modernized now where, it's more a little bit cleaner, more developed digitally and stuff like that. But when it comes, the whole concept in itself, it's not much different.
But his time is the real deal in the sense that if they made one person make a mistake, everybody got to start all over again. So everybody have to be doing that beat perfectly without any mistakes from beginning to end.
That's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
Oh, come on, man.
We didn't reach a digital age yet, and they were using magnetic tape. So if they really loved everything else and did really want to splice, they would have to cut physically with a razor that tape.
Yeah, that's how
To
they
make-
splice.
oh,
Just
yeah.
do the splicing.
Splice
Not
on
like when
that.
we
Yeah,
click
that's how
the
they-
mouse
let
now
us
and
splice.
just do the splice.
And do this part, yeah.
Yeah. It's really amazing how we come through this by the grace of God. We create it simple because we call it very simple music because 3 people can make a rhythm. 1 person can, 2 people can, 3 people can. So when you have 4 people, you have 4 tracks to play with because The 4-track tape coming after the 2-track adventure. All right, so the thing about the 2-track tape is a lot of great music on those like a 2-track tape, Reggie. Studio One, I have to talk about Studio One. Because he's an engineer like this, Virgin, and him creative,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
him make the equipment then. So that's why we start having bass line in the thing now. Because he started out with bass line kind of play jump tracks.
Mm-hmm.
But he is such a wonderful person who is not in play all it. Him don't really play nothing, but him provide these elements that make we could come out with some nice music. And we did. I come into the thing when it was ska and rock steady.
Mm-hmm.
My contribution is to put drum beat because I didn't have no kick drum in none of those time. No ska, no kick drum. Rock steady, no kick drums.
And you wanted to understand that, but basically music is on the beats, like beats to a bar.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 beats to a bar. So in reggae music, they eliminated the last beat, which is the 4th beat. So now it leaves a mystical gap that you see Bob Marley move to, and that was never found in music before, by subtracting 1 beat, and how he did deal with the chickip.
Chickip, yeah.
The combination of it became mystical. So it revolutionized music all over the world.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So tell me, Leroy. So at that point in time, now when you venture off on your own with God guiding you or taking you,
taking me,
yeah,
Bridget.
taking you where He wants you to be, now,
yes.
right? So at your development, you how you started getting to now in the circle of, or how these people started getting into your circle of where now you started creating your beat, because at one time you mentioned too that you're more of like the godfather of reggae. That correct?
Well, I think
Or
I
the
am
creator.
not the godfather. I'm creator of reggae, Bridget.
You're a creator of
Never
reggae.
change.
He always says that. He always gives actually his
Yeah.
some type of, well, you can speak.
Well, we have people like Lee Scratch Perry who not with a good thought, a good mind, but in places where I experience part of the thing, Bridget. The Bridget, him just love it to him heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see that. So I formed this upsetter band for him. Knowing that I have a band, RH Invincible, and I'm performing, but not recording, because Father E.L. Gooden didn't really want us to go into the recording world. He wanted us to stay, just like in the church thing. But then he started to get a lot of jobs for the band to play, like those road thing. When come to holiday time, we have these shows that we go around and we can play all the places them that most people afraid to play. Because we didn't know the danger of this thing, but we're rehearsing. It's a big crowd.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a big crowd following me already. Anywhere we go, we have a big crowd. Because our rehearsal, people come to our rehearsal like it's the only place to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Rasta man, so you have a lot of Rasta people who help to promote and uplift the music. I am saying that it didn't get to know where without a Rastafari come into the thing, support it. Father Yale Gooden is the first Rasta man who sent call me, and said, look, I have this thing and I want to buy some instrument. And then him draw it. I see so much money, bro. Let me tell you something. I never see so much money in my life. And this man, me's a stranger to this man. And, this
And
man
that's
like
who you said.
Father E.L. Gooden is him buy the first set of instrument for me.
Oh, okay.
He met me go to Florida the first time. He flew to Jamaica. He's Florida. Me go to Thoroughbred Music Store.
Mm-hmm.
And me and him have a close brethren, Brother Henry. And those people in those days, those early Rastafari, them dress up in them like, look, you can know them as Rasta. Them have on the
Raw
Rasta
yellow
unit.
attire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And those people give me a lot of equipment that we didn't buy. We just get it, gift to the church. And then that's why I know why church is really powerful enough, but you have to find the right church.
So you receive these equipment for the church, but you also receive equipment for your personal use as well.
Where we get is the equipment that we went to buy.
Right. And that is for your personal use,
Yes,
your
yes,
personal
yes,
creation.
and it's good instruments. Then we don't get no foolish things. They have very good instruments at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was blessed to have all those privileges, and we carry it home and we take it home, and we didn't have to use Yeah, sometimes people say you have to use Byron Lee name and you have to use this name and this. No, I accustomed to using my name, no matter what the business is my name. So, tell you the truth, that start has took us to where this man gets so much job that him don't remember say, is the church we were supposed to play in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Him have his healing temple, And his healing temple is very unique because it's a spring him have inside of his church, real spring.
Right.
And we start at a good point, really. We getting all those equipment and we starting doing shows. And we play at the place them that seems to be all the bad places them. But we never have nobody match up no show for us. We play at Queen's Theatre. Tivoli Gardens just around the back, I think. Nobody couldn't go to Queen's Theatre for years.
Because of
it's
what?
a open here and people fling back and stone or anything over there.
Because of the environment is what?
Because I open here theatre like open here right,
Oh, okay.
So anybody can stay out there with that fling
And
back.
throw buckles away.
And then now, Father couldn't say, well, we have a show to do there. But I didn't know the history of the place. He's a country boy. All right, so, we went there, and boy, the crowd was so big. People get to come to Queens. And after we do all that, now we start to get the history of the place. How it was. That's why it never take them go on there for years. So we have a good following from Rastafari and Rasta people. Me know that Rasta people support every little hint of thing that we do in this music thing. And without Rastafari coming to it, we wouldn't have no backing, nobody to support it. Rasta people are creative works. They have so much creativity, to offer. So them build us because, the fans, without the fans, the band, yeah, we grow when, if you don't have a big crowd, you're not doing anything.
So the question then is, someone who is not Rasta, they call him ballad,
You
right?
still have a lot of ballad with Rasta.
Yeah.
So you still have,
you-
like me now, would you consider
Rasta,
me a
same
Rasta?
way, yes.
Well,
You didn't know that?
yeah, because that's why I told you about the Nazarite vow. It's not every Rasta took a Nazarite vow.
No, for them, no, about the
And
Nazareth
it's not
vow
every
right
Jew
now.
took a Nazarite vow.
No,
You
because
have
they
the
don't know about
choice.
that.
Because a Nazarite vow means you chose to separate yourself from the world and be only for God. So those people who really put locks, they said, I want to be for God.
So more of a mentality then. It's not more of a physicality in the sense of a long
No,
hair and
it's
stuff
not a
like.
complete physicality.
Mm-hmm.
It's full with spirituality because this is Rasta people are very spiritual. People, yes, my brethren, enough people don't know that. Because them see Rasta with them long hair, people want to come to them and pray for you and all them, and they can't pray for themselves. So we go to a lot of things where people not like Rasta because Rasta not coming for you, kneel on before you and pay your prayers. We cut out all them things. We think them things is folly because the Lord God don't tell us to bow down to no one in front of no one. He didn't make it to bow. The Most High didn't make none of us to bow. That's why we stand upright.
You mean no Rasta to bow or just people in
People in general, brethren, people in general,
Mhm.
make to bow down to nothing but the Almighty God.
But the Almighty.
And him didn't say to bow either to nothing because he make you upright.
Mhm.
You can lay down on your back and pray your prayer. It is acceptable, Lord, hear your prayer from your heart and your mind is really into your prayer.
Mhm. Mhm.
And most people know to make them own prayer. Them don't pray off a song. Because I don't pray, I make requests. So I try to make people know that, the prayer, he don't work with me. Because if you go and pray for me and you can't pray for yourself, what good is that?
Mhm.
Why would be most like send you to come pray for me? It don't fit. It don't work.
Don't
It's
fit.
nonsense. I see it as nonsense, Bridget.
So
So
take me into the circle now where you start to collab or work with artists like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and and those type of people. You know how they come into your circle, or how
okay,
you reach into their circle.
you see, the Bob Marley is kind of a miracle thing.
Mm.
Let me tell you something. 'Cause before Bob Marley, we didn't have nobody who sing gospel songs, and every song him sing makes sense.
Mm.
Most lovers song, lovers, love this, love that, love this, love that, love that. Nothing wrong with love, but I'm saying now, this man doesn't dwell on just pure everybody. Oh, I love you, baby. The thing is that the man have a message, Rasta, in all the music, them that the man have to say, well, then this man really bring message. Okay, so the good thing about Bob Marley is that Lee Scratch Perry bring Bob Marley
Mm.
into the thing. I am a virgin. All right, Empress. Yeah, well, something about the Rasta thing. We can't stop praise Rasta too. And well, I wouldn't say praise because I praise God first thing.
Mm.
I'm thankful for Rasta people because they put full support and they are the creative ones. You see, right now, I say people who don't have hair upon them head is not creative.
I was about to ask that question.
People creative, and enough Rasta don't have no hair upon them head and they were the first runners
Mhm.
who defend Rastafari until man realize, well then, before we wear the locks of His Majesty and these kind of things. No, I didn't have much idea about all that. I just pick it up by the people who support I.
Mhm.
And because they support I support them. Because when I look around, who I see? Rastafari. Rasta, Rastafari. And, it's such a beautiful thing to know that these people are so creative.
Mhm.
Yes, man. Rasta people amazingly creative, brethren.
So when you reach into the circle, or when these guys, Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, and these guys, when they arrive into the circle where you at, or you arrive into their circle
No,
where,
and my music them come sing, pan, brethren.
right?
When me create
So
music.
at the time, were they Rasta, meaning they have long hair?
Yes. Yeah, well, Bobby have soul here, but Peter Tosh have him long locks and Bunny Wheel have him long locks. Because them didn't cut them locks. Them people come to America. We all cut their locks to come to America. I do that too, and I figure it back. And but because them didn't accept us coming nowhere with the locks, them.
So they literally bar you from not coming to this country if you have locks.
In the early days, I think that was the truth. Because for some reason them say we are like terrorists. We get that name too. And then somebody else come up and realize, oh no, not terrorism, this is kind of spiritual thing.
Culture. Yeah.
It is a culture, brethren. It is a culture. And it's a pure, pure culture.
Yes.
Not created by outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say that, because I get so much support from Rasta, I have a lot of talks on Rasta, knowing that Rasta, without Rasta, reggae music wouldn't be
Yes, sir.
acceptable. Because we have no following, we have no support.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Rasta people them start to support the thing, and the thing keep moving, and become something. So how could I not remember to speak about Rastafari and whatever they do? Because nobody not talk about Rasta them time, and nobody promote no Rasta. If it's a Rasta thing, tell them a Rasta like them, like it's some crazy people them talking about.
Right.
But even these younger guys don't make them aware that it's not a crazy thing. You know. Look how rich we is and with the big life and with all the Rasta life because Rasta walk barefoot and Rasta. All of them things that we go through, you know, the Rastafari come. So these people can live the benefit of it. And that's all right with me. Because who's supposed to live better? We are all supposed to live better. So Rasta that a person with locks on him head started out with the bald a Rasta.
Yes, sir.
Ah, no, yeah, bald we are more Rasta than all with the locks.
Yeah.
Than the one them with the locks.
Yeah, because them don't really know nothing about Rasta really. Good. Them have long locks, not tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
But
That's
them,
interesting. That's
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
to
but
know.
them don't really know nothing about Rasta because them not taking a vow and them not go after
Yes,
nothing
sir.
where the elders them go after.
Mhm.
Them new. It's just plenty woman, plenty expensive
Yes,
car and
yes.
plenty big life and enough things to
Right.
no, all that is good. I don't say no. You know, that's a pleasure, that's what you desire. And if you can get that out of the music, that's it, that's good.
But that's not all about the Rasta.
No,
The
it's
Rasta
not
more.
about it. It's not even
Yeah.
about money, brethren. Rastafari start. Hold on, let me tell you something. Yeah, man. Remember that. Let me tell you, let me tell you something. All right. Well, yeah, but
Mm.
yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Well, you know something. Is everyone put them little bits and pieces together to make this thing great.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
I don't leave out nobody out of this thing. But remember, Jimmy Cliff started from Rocksteady. There was no reggae singer.
And Rocksteady was you were part of Rocksteady or
Yeah,
that
I
was a
get
different.
yes, but mostly I play plenty Rocksteady tune too
Mhm.
because that is what them say they want. So
Wait, Rocksteady is a tune or is a group?
No, it's a beat.
It's
Just
a beat,
like how make the
okay.
reggae beat.
Right. So,
Okay.
in order for reggae to have been so remarkable, music works by time and era.
Mhm.
So, as each time passes, the music changes. So, in his youthful days, it was
I bring the
rocksteady
changes.
and ska. So he
I bring the
was
changes.
born now and didn't want to conform to. If he conformed to rocksteady and ska,
Mhm.
we wouldn't have reggae.
Mm-mm.
But he says, you know what? I hear
I
something.
want to make a
else.
difference. Yeah.
Yes,
I want to be create. I want to
Create.
create something on my own.
Yes.
Right.
I add to that. You know, this reggae thing really take plenty people to move it, you know. And you have to have strong people like Rasta people who, wherever, we're going to survive. This is how we come.
Mhm.
Wherever it is, we'll survive it. And we don't put it like a stress and we're like, man, because we didn't start out with money, bridge. All Bob Marley thing them done free. Rehearsal, all the thing free, pure free things.
Mhm.
Rasta, you get it. So Bob have to go him locks. Because here it is now, if you don't have your locks, you don't have no power in this thing because people with them locks develop this thing and make this thing important. So you have to have your locks, same go him locks.
Mhm.
So you see, some people in the early days took the vow, but after the early ones, it changes to most.
Anybody is just a
Mhm.
freedom
Take
thing.
just growing along.
Jamaican independent thing, just pure independent thing. Yeah, I don't know laws and clause.
Right.
Jamaican people don't like laws and clause.
Yeah.
They don't like you
Mhm.
bound them to one situation because they are so creative.
Yes.
You can't let these people create. Brethren. You have to make them create.
Mhm.
Because I can speak for these people. It's so creative that you have to accept them.
Yes.
Because it's the only one who really creating, and giving away free in town. I see the Rasta people them buy them, produce and come and give it to all them girls who have up kids and have the father feet and them just and them give away key and coconut, yam, banana, anything them come with. It's food for the people them. And then give it away, brethren, and push them push and cat, you know, and give it away and them God no man, they must be blessed, brethren. Must be blessed.
So the thing out here now, Leroy, I most Caribbean folks, Americans, different country, Italians, English, etc., etc. You know, we're aware of Bob Marley, right?
Yes. Yes.
So being in that circle at the time, how come at this present time we didn't hear anything about Leroy Hamilton?
Okay.
What
Well,
causes that division, or what causes that non-establishment?
jealousy.
Jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy.
You want to
Jealousy.
elaborate on that a little bit?
All right. Look, in our system, if you make a hit tune, I want to make one too. So sometimes you have people who sing against them each other, like Prince Buster and Derek Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these people have a thing with them sing, and it's very interesting because people come to hear them what them going to sing against each other, and that run off a good time. Before when Rasta people really take over the music business, it was a big change. I can't stop talking about Rasta because without Rasta we don't have no music. We wouldn't have this music.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get so much bad criticism. It's only people who creative could understand that this is our creation that we can be proud of. We didn't take from anybody else to make this music. We make it out of our own.
Right, and not to cut him, but this is what most of us just really don't understand. When you make something from in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
it's the expense of the Jamaicans that are actually causing that effect. What do I mean by that? See how we give respects to Scratchy Perry?
Mhm.
Scratchy Perry was an engineer.
He was an engineer,
No, I'm gonna show
but
you
him
in the
developed
term.
into that.
Yes. All right. So see how he would say that,
Mm-hmm.
but meaning it wasn't Leroy Hamilton that was twisting the mixing boards and adding certain type of flair to the actual recording. He was actually playing the guitar.
So he was more the player, one of the players
Yeah,
in the
because-
Do
band.
you understand where I'm
Right.
coming from? So all this is actually at the expense of Jamaicans, right?
Mhm.
Their own financial costs. He had to make sacrifices to
Oh,
have a guitar, have to be-
1,000 sacrifice and more, bro.
You understand? But what happened was this: like Bob Marley is a big wake-up call for us as Jamaicans, right? What do I mean by that? Men like him, there's a lot of them. Not, and he probably could call names, right? That I don't know of. But here's what we have an example with Bob Marley. Let's use "Catch a Fire," right?
Mm-hmm.
All the players all the players that played on the early record,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't about that. It was the fact that it was made already, it was known about, but they didn't have financial backing. So when Bob Marley actually got access to a brother named like Chris Blackwell, what did he do? Fly out of Jamaica with Bob Marley. They went to engineers that played rock music and different form of music. So the final version of Bob Marley is not the original version of Bob Marley.
Not the original
The
version.
real birth that they birthed was the core of the music.
Yeah, they
But
actually
in order
have
to
me playing the
internationalize
guitar.
it, they came and added rock music to it and different flavors.
So you saying they blend the rock music?
Yeah, they
and
put a
the-
lot of rock music to Bob
Yes,
Marley.
they
version.
did.
Rock guitar from look, you have Junior Marvin,
Yeah.
Al Anderson. Those two brethren, them play a unique part in Bob Marley music. But they didn't start with it.
Right.
They get to dub and overdub and make and do all these things. Now, that was improvement Bob loved.
Yeah.
He kind of loved the rock music. Bob Marley is really a rock singer, that more than a reggae singer. It was just a tryout that make Bob Marley becomes a king. It's a tryout.
So him kind of blend the rock with the
With-
creative side
Yes,
of the other
blues.
music.
And it was really Bob
Hold on, hold
Marley's
on.
passion, because if you listen to interviews about that situation,
Mhm.
those engineers would tell you like it was Bob Marley telling them what to play, how to orchestrate the rock on the reggae. So these brothers were the actual core that played everything in the studios in Jamaica. That got imported now into the studios in England.
England.
And then now
England,
those top
England.
rock players that he can call those big names played on those.
So when we use the term rock music, we're not using the vocal part of it. We are using the instrumental part of the rock music.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
even rock is we make rock music.
Right. So the birth of rock came from reggae.
Yeah, and them call it blues.
I
They
didn't
call
know
it
that.
blue
Yeah.
beat.
So-
We call it blue beat, but it was rock music.
So
You
going
know,
to
so-
school for it, that's what I learned. And the school I went to, I was like the only black guy in the school.
Mhm.
It was mostly white players. So basically, what we learned was, what I learned specifically, they sped up the reggae music in order to create the rock. So the same fourth beat that's missing,
Mhm.
they sped it up to use back the fourth beat.
So,
Yes.
so
Yes,
what they
sure.
call
You
would
know
you
I
say they
say-
call heavy metal? Because I hear that language all the
Yes,
time
it's-
in
it's
music.
sped up reggae.
So heavy metal would be considered the rock side of the music.
Yes.
Yes, but look, heavy metal didn't come in when I make reggae music.
Right.
There's all the music they come after, you know. and-
So you're saying the
Them
music after like those type of music kind of piggyback off the music
Yes.
what you were
I
creating.
would,
Yes.
I would say that's a good term.
Mm.
I would say that's a good term. But we were happy that they could do all that too, because
Right,
you
they
see,
were happy.
everything advertise us in the light. That's why we have so much cover tune in reggae business. Because those first set of people who produce music,
Mhm.
records, I would say, because we are the producer of the music. People who produce records, they are a unique set of people who would put you on back burner.
Mhm.
Like Randy's. Randy's is like the radio station. If your music don't play in Randy's record store, it's possibly not going to go anywhere, Bertrand.
Randy's, who is
Ran-
Randy's?
VP, them name VP up here.
Oh,
Her
okay.
name is Randy's in Jamaica. Randy's. So, you know, the thing about them at that time, you know, we have to be around them. When I start my band, I don't have nothing to play record to make the musician them hear what we want to do. It's cover tune we have to do because people them don't understand if I accept.
So for
reggae.
the public cover tune meaning what? You have to play for them to hear, or
Well, the covering is that I'm gonna do Sean music, cause Sean music is a hit music.
Mhm.
So we're going to create a rhythm, a reggae rhythm for Sean music. But the problem is that we're not gonna get nothing from the royalty because we don't own it from the sales of the records. So that's why a lot of us get robbed because they want to make something off the sales of the records. And before Bob Marley, there was people making million records.
Yes,
Sell
because
million, you know.
not to cut him, the early form of what he's talking about,
Mhm.
those major American English artists went to Jamaica to get a cover version of reggae from their hit song that was on the England charts.
Yeah.
So a cover song would mean that the hit song on the English charts
Mhm.
would be played over in a reggae style.
The reggae style. Yes.
Oh, okay. So what was the, because I grew up hearing most of these artists want to migrate to England. What was so special about England where most of these famous artists want to migrate? Not even migrate, but want to have an experience in England. What was the experience? What was the desires for these famous artists? Because remember, to my history too, Bob Marley went to England and he started some development over there for a while.
Yes.
Then he shift back to Jamaica or to America. One of those. I don't have the full remember the full history itself, but I know he went to England at one point. Even the movie what they made
Yes.
kind of shed some light and increased my knowledge about certain things what happened to Bob Marley at the time.
Yes.
So I know he had went to England and developed some things there, spent a little moment there, and came back. What I noticed, a lot of artists, even up to this day, they more not venture too much in England, but Europe on the European
Right.
side. What is it? Why you don't think they should venture here in the U.S. that would give them a better opportunity than going overseas in that
well,
region?
a man like Leroy Hamilton, he has a special side of this story that he can. I'm just giving you an intro to it because he's one of those founding musicians in Jamaica
Mhm.
that helped form or initialize the World Federation of Jamaican Music, right?
Yeah. We first really support the joining the Federation of Musicians. But what happened to the Federation of Musicians? They were partial people then.
Mhm.
They will use the band and make big money and don't pay the band nothing too sometimes. Most of the time. We
So
don't
you
get paid.
experience a lot of
Oh, a
those.
lot of those things. So, I was always prepared not to get paid. My mind make up say this is not a pay thing because I
So
didn't
why
know.
you continue then? Or if you know that,
No. Look, it's the love of the music. Not
so there's
money.
love of the music
Not
that.
money. Because we didn't have money, brethren.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We didn't have money. That's why people like Lee Scratch Perry can get credit in the studio could could make this happen. Because we don't have no money. And it's credit, Lee Scratch Perry get credit in the studio.
And not to cut him, but this is to highlight you on the reason why. There's laws on copyrights of ownership to music records.
Well, in today's time.
No,
But
no,
No,
no.
from them
that
From
time.
then?
but
Yeah.
it wasn't established in Jamaica as yet. So you had to leave out of Jamaica to really get a money, like because England had their copyright laws already.
Mhm.
So if you want to make money with ownership, so he made the music in Jamaica, but Scratch Lee Perry takes the music and goes to England. But when he goes to England, in order to make money, he has to register that copyright in England. He's not around. Who has it in
To
his hand?
verify anything to it.
No, at all. And he's the man that's recording it, and the person with the machine has the ownership to actually do the registration.
So
in
Scott
England.
Perry is the engineer that do the mixing and stuff like
Yes.
that.
No, not
not mixing,
much, not
but
much.
he
But,
he was recording in the early days.
You see, we have engineers who have qualification, like Sean.
Hmm.
We have these people who them run the studio, like 16 Band Street, Treasure Isle Studio. You have this guy is an engineer, and him is really a professional engineer, to my knowledge. And we have a couple of those type of guy. You have one up in Studio One. So, and those two recording places controlled by Badman.
Hmm.
And even that one is the other. But these are two giants who making music, producing records. And what I find out is that the engineer can make your music come out good and make it not good.
Yes.
Hmm.
And a lot of them are very spiteful. Like is a newcomer now, just a record a tune. Them don't put much effort in it, because
Because they don't know you.
you're not
nobody.
popular.
Yeah.
You're not famous. So all these little differences that keep us down when we want to excel. People don't want to change the rock steady. They don't want to change up the ska because that's what them build themselves off.
Exactly.
So we making reggae noise on the back page because
Mhm.
we are all newcomers. Them don't call us professional musicians. No, we're amateurs. And the amateurs they make the best music for them that them didn't want them. I said, what the hell happened to this thing? How them guys are just, how them getting it? Because they keep us out. Purposely keep us out. Anyway, we get a breakthrough by the Most High, bring Rasta people into this thing. So,
But I heard they didn't want to play reggae on the radio.
no, they play the reggae on radio. You can't play it in a nightclub either.
So you couldn't play reggae in the radio,
No.
and you can't play it in the nightclub.
No.
What was the reason for that?
because it
Because
didn't exist.
reggae is not music. According to these people, them say reggae is not music.
So
So
then,
what kind of music? Oh, chikip, 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 and
Yeah.
them say it's not music.
And it's missing the fourth beat too.
So it
but
take
they were music inclined to understand what is a fourth beat.
Yes.
So
Not to
not
explain
those
it.
people. Those people don't
They
read
knew
music.
the feeling of the
They
ska.
might just engineers.
They knew the but the
Recording
general
engineers.
people knew how
Audio
ska moved.
engineers.
Like as he was explaining to you, they didn't know the dance. Why? Because in his youthful days, people knew how to move dance ska.
Yes, yeah,
People
and
knew how to
Rocksteady.
dance rocksteady.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know how to dance reggae because it didn't
No,
exist.
Bob Marley is the first one to
So-
come and show them how you dance reggae.
Exactly. It's
So-
like kind of
Okay.
like Vibes Cartel and reggae music. Reggae music came to a point where the young generation created dancehall now.
mhm.
They're like, what's this dancehall thing? It I broke out my picnic then. Send cartel a jail.
So dancehall now, what we know it as, is not just a dance. It's a form of singing too, right?
Yes.
And it's a form of playing certain type of
Instruments.
instruments.
Yes.
Okay, so I see. Now I can see the differentiation now. So
Let me tell
okay.
you about dancehall. It's not a change of music. It's the same music. But the name dancehall
All right, from when?
pertaining to the sound man, them always playing this music.
Yes.
You understand?
Hmm.
So in dancehall now, these sound system them have clash. Sound system
clash.
Clash.
Mhm.
Yes. And, so
That's the birth of dancehall.
That's
Yes,
the birth of dancehall.
yes. And, because you see, dancehall is not like the regular club thing. It's people dance. Dancehall means where people dance. And
So that's where the name originated from,
yes,
dancehall.
Yes.
Before the beat itself was formulated.
Mhm.
Before the beat, before reggae beat, you have dancehall, but you didn't have it much like now because the Rasta wasn't in it, and Rasta is the upliftment of this thing, brethren. I'm trying to tell you that them use the term dancehall only when Rasta come into the business. It's a hard form of ways that them try to break out this reggae thing and make this. Well, maybe I could say, I'm not sure. But that is how we dance to the damn thing. And then when we go to dance, there's a kind of dancing going, like a rubber dubber kind of thing going, it's kind of lover thing too. And, in some ways, it's just a revolution.
Yeah, it's a revolution.
Yeah.
Because technology changed from his era. A couple years after, nobody knew how to play guitar like that no more.
No more.
They want like a whole bunch of guys playing guitars and
Yes,
drums
yes,
and
yes.
bands and stuff. That era passed. So now we have computers now
That generating these
and
things. Yeah.
generating.
You see, maybe I can tell you something. The man, they bring in the computer thing and they make a rhythm and the rhythm hit. Really good
Yes.
rhythm and the rhythm hit. So them start to use the machine and create the beat.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that go on for a while until it come back to where it started.
Yes.
We don't have effects as such. Everything we play dry without effects. So it's only the engineer, recording engineer, audio engineer who can put something.
Mhm, mhm.
All right. So we settle with whatever we get because it help everybody help. Whether you willingly help or you just being drawn into the thing. Like I can't tell you where I'm going next. I don't know. I started touring and I end up in Italy. Then I end up in Switzerland on the next tour. All those to England. Why people go to England? It's because England was the only place that opened up to the world. England can make the world hear you. So you have to go there because it's a British country we live into. And we definitely tie to England. Any improvement we want, we look to England for it because we're used to that. That's what we grew up. I know.
So England was the driving wheel for exposure.
Yes,
Okay.
where you can get promotion and the world know about you and you make good money because
And
they have
financial.
laws and clauses that can make you get paid for your thing.
Right, the copyright laws.
Yeah, but even the copyright laws was there, but we was exposed to performing right laws.
Yes.
So I joined the performing right thing in England. And if my tune perform, I used to get money like 3 times a year. I think it started 4 times a year.
For
Two or
for
three.
the, for the, the
With my
stuff what
music, my music.
for your music.
Yes.
Yeah, for performing live on the stage.
Mhm.
And here what happen now. I get in the music they played and I feel good about it. But the performing thing wasn't the copyright.
Exactly.
That was just something them give us to say, well, you do that tune there and, and them give you play and them look out to play and if somebody record over your song, you get paid and things like that. That's performing rights.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now when I come to America, now I know about royalties and things like that where we have a different system,
Yeah.
So you can get copyright now and you can register your tune and all to that and there's a lot of a privilege that wasn't here in the early days. It was England we looked to for all of those things.
Mhm.
So now America included because America is just the backyard really. And it's easy to just come up on New York than to go to England. England's too far. I go to Europe a couple times and I just fly too far.
Mhm.
Too much flying. And most of the time from one plane to the other plane and we're going all about a Europe and thing and we take a plane to England. England is always the gateway, So we start at the gateway. When we go to England, it was a stop by for overnight. We can catch the next flight. All right. When I'm coming back from Italy, I spend some time in England. Maybe 3 days and a couple nights. I even go to immigration jail in England because
Yeah, that's interesting. So they actually, what was the reason why they held you in immigration jail?
All right, we tour with Burning Spear. We first carry Burning Spear on tour. And he's kind of edgy guy and him have no respect for immigration people and things. And I think this guy said something to him and him punch him in the mouth.
Oh, so physical assault. Then.
Physical, yes. And now everybody get gone to jail now.
Boy, trouble now.
All right, we inside the jail. And we have weed and we want to smoke the weed. Sydney go shine out some weed in his shoes, them can't go out of Italy to rats and couldn't get no time for smoke and no opportunity to smoke nothing, brethren. We don't get the opportunity to eat, we don't get the opportunity to smoke, we just...
But you have weed in the cell though?
Yes, and my boy said, I burn this blood, sweet, and I'm not virgin, because you want the people have to send home, get
Oh my goodness.
And my boy dig out, when they look through me, so I go and say, but dig it out. Shit.
So where they get papers on these things that they call...
Everything we have, man, we are talking about.
Oh, so that...
we travel with everything and couldn't
So
get to use
how
it.
they allow you to go in you guys to go in the jail?
No, we are musician, brethren.
Well, what I'm saying, the nation. I mean, I'm
The jail.
The reason why I'm going there because here in this modern time, once they detain you, or even locking you up and taking you to a cell or a precinct or wherever, they're gonna strip search you. So everything they gonna empty out your pocket.
Oh
your
no, but it's
phone,
not like that back in those days.
So those days they just lock you. They don't care what you have in you. They just send you.
Smoking cigarettes. in jail cells.
Brethren, let me tell you something.
That was interesting.
See, England is a different world. And the thing about England know that we are Jamaican. You know, the more greater people in England than Jamaican people. We are the greatest people in England. So, when we go to England, them not strip we down and search your shoes and all them things. Not in that time. with that privilege could have, I could join your shoes,
Mm.
you know, and if you get the chance, because we didn't have the freedom to smoke. It's not like now. You see, America is a great country because look, America said, look, man, you go and smoke on the weed and feel good, yeah, virgin, and the police not bother you and trouble you and this. But England is our gateway, but them didn't give we privilege like America
Mm. Mm.
because we are so restricted that when my boy dig out the spy hole and they couldn't see we, them smell the weed. And when the immigration lady come and say, all right, come, we'll go. We'll come out of this place. We don't want to go. Just the weed. So you see how weed was a funny thing them time, you know, the smell of the weed, and they say, we don't want to know. You say, no, no. I'm in a prison, I don't know, I smoke weed, and then they never used to that.
So them
America.
decided to kick you out.
Yes, so them kick we out.
So when they kick you out, did they kick you out and deport you back from England, or they just kick you out
They
to the
just
cell?
kick we out, brethren. Can I go back the same way, you know? They kick me out and
So what?
put a mark in my book for my visa.
Oh, so they actually deport you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
And when we go back there again, they couldn't deport because we not go to England. We just pass through England.
But you passing through England, you still literally have to stop in England, right?
Yes, we stop in England overnight to catch the plane. The
Oh,
next
so you didn't
day.
leave the airport?
Yeah. No, we in a hotel, brethren.
So you're technically then in England. So how if they had banned you, how they allow you to
I don't think them ban.
No,
They didn't
I
ban.
use
They
that
just let
term.
him go, basically.
they can just be bothered with
They
them?
don't go on home, you know, because on the Jamaican people is like that. You know, we continue to smoke weed.
Yeah, it was like that back in those days.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like we didn't have the freedom, and we think we deserve the freedom like everybody else. But them didn't say we're independent.
Mm-hmm.
But them know the system.
Right.
So since we're not going to stop smoking weed, and them can't stop we from get weed,
Mm-hmm.
can we there in England same way?
Right.
We there everywhere. All you have to do is make a phone call and somebody bring weed. It's a business.
Mm-hmm.
And England knows it's a business. Even though them go on, but they make so much money off of weed.
So based on that, they always have a saying that, or I wouldn't say as a saying, but people are what I hear in society saying that most of Bob Marley greatest hits where he formed is when he's under his weed. How true that
hold
is?
Hold on. Not when. Bob always a smoking weed, Bridget. Bob is not like me and you know.
Mhm.
Bob Marley wasn't so poor, Bridget. Him just wasn't paying us nothing. All of them is like that. Nobody want to pay nothing to musicians. We are the lowest set of people in society.
So you're saying though
In those days.
in those days they weren't paying you?
No, they're not paying nothing. Everybody wanted free. And she's new music and me wanted to establish. Me glad to play the damn thing, Bridget.
Because you want to get exposed.
Yeah, well, if me met this thing, I know. Me met this thing, and nobody don't know about this thing. And you going to expose this thing to people now. People know about me. I pride in it. I'm going to play the best. I'm going to do the best. England now is where the best can make you rich.
Mm-hmm.
But those people who go up there with my music like Leaky Scratch Perry and Bunny Lee and them boy, them is thief and robbers. Playing up straight up.
Mm-hmm.
There are scammers who's the early part of scamming, we call them thief. But here them do it now, them get it free. Because they didn't pay for it. And them take the plane and go to England.
So they pretty much take advantage of your
not
musicians.
Pretty much them taking advantage, everybody taking advantage of this new thing, brethren.
Mm-hmm.
Because we really want promotion, and them not giving us the promotion because they don't put our name on nothing. No. The players, them,
So his job is to say, oh, Leroy Hamilton played the guitar. Right?
yes,
So, and
they don't do that. They're not doing that. And then when I get to find out, the man them say, if them give we promotion, put your name on records, they're not going to have us down there to make music for them. So it was a deliberate thing don't
To the
give
musician.
a tour.
So you're saying that they deliberately
Yes.
didn't want to pay or
Them,
not to try to
what,
expose the
what,
musicians.
them deliberately don't want to expose the musicians. Them don't want to leave the country to come to foreign, come know what them doing in foreign.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first get to go to Bermuda, I realized what the man them doing with the music. It's your song, your music, and then put a next guy name on it who has nothing to do with music.
And just get and sell it as that.
As that.
And now
So-
you as the creator or whoever is the creator for that music have no idea what's going on in baby.
No ideas because they keep it that way. The musicians them not to go nowhere, know nothing about what them doing.
That's interesting, you know. And this is you can see how the musician them even now as today's time and back
Yes.
then I can see how
Same thing.
they get pressed down.
Yes.
You know?
Oh yes.
Because generally, most musicians and singers don't know the music business itself.
No.
They
about
know
the
how
business.
to
We're not
actually
business
play the
people.
music and sing the music, not how to make money from the music.
We don't know nothing about that. It's privilege to get to make a record. And everybody wants to make a record. Because if you want to make it in the music business, you have to make a hit record.
Mhm.
Right.
So everybody trying to make a hit record. And then we come with this reggae business and it make the turn where people can understand that it can really make some money,
Yeah.
make fame and fortune. So, all right, England is ready to establish you.
Because
But-
you see, not to cut you, even now, you have artists that cry about not getting money for their records and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But we grew up with a certain type of mentality from the era. So, and this is something that me going to school helped me understand better to change the direction of our understanding towards our future as Jamaicans or creative people. Because our country is like a music country.
Yeah.
So we make a
Pretty
lot of
much.
music there, but we don't get either the credit, the money, or we don't operate correctly.
We was kept out of the light where money is. We don't, then nobody gonna take care of no tour if you come know what them doing in England or what them doing in foreign country.
Mhm.
So when I get to go on my first tour, it was really Michael Manley that I was going on tour. Bring any amount of American money you can get. Because when we tour, we don't tour an English pound, We tour an American dollars.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because we understand this. English pound is universal and the value have more value, yes, but something, America to me is like the place to be. Because America established you anywhere you go. We don't travel as American anymore. We always travel as Jamaican.
So you always travel as Jamaican, not American.
No.
Mm.
And
When you're coming to the US or when you're going to England?
anywhere.
Anywhere? Oh, okay.
We don't travel as American, but we travel by making the American money. You have to pay with American money that way.
Right.
All right, so.
And so it was in also Jamaica when you do things. At the time it was England running Jamaica, so it would be the pound.
You see that? So,
yeah.
but this is the problem. We in Jamaica, we don't have no money. So I'm gonna trust you that you're gonna fly out and
Yeah.
make a bigger success of what I
Yes,
did in
and bring
Jamaica.
back some money for all of
But
us.
guess what?
No worries.
When you don't have the knowledge, the knowledge of the business,
Mhm.
we make decisions just not knowing. What do I mean by that? The music business have two way. Either you're gonna get royalties or you're gonna get work
Rob.
for hire. No, not rob.
Okay.
It's called work for hire.
Work for hire. Okay.
Meaning, I paid you to come and set up today, even with your own mics, to do this for me, but I paid you for it.
Yes.
So now you give me all the recordings. It don't belong to the garage no more. It belongs to me, the company that's paying you
They're paying me
to
for
do. So that's what Jamaicans are used to. Jamaicans are used to, I give you $1,000 and you give me a song. I give you $5,000 and you give me a song. I give you $1,000,000
and you give me a song.
But that's where we cry. You know why we cry? A work for hire means if me give $1 million right now and you give me that song, you cannot come back to me for $1 because it's called work for hire. I paid you
For what you have done
what,
at the
what
point.
you have done, and that's it.
That's it.
But if you want more money, you can't accept a work for hire. You have to accept royalties and you
Yeah.
negotiate
Shares in
how
the
much
royalties.
shares and royalties
Royalty.
later. That means you're not. Yeah, you could negotiate getting some money up front and shares of royalty later.
Mhm.
But if you're poor and you're in Jamaica that time, you don't know how to negotiate for royalties because you never heard of it really.
Mhm.
And then a man is gonna want you to do it for work for hire. You know why? So when him got England, him not to deal with you again. He's not calling your name. It belongs all to him.
Well,
I
you
tell
know,
you,
the
boy.
Virgin explained it so well
Well put together. So, Leroy, I mean, we can sit here all night, man, and chat because you have so much historical moment, in from your birth until now. You have a lot to share with us. Well, one of the things I would ask, and I know it's gonna formulate somewhere down the line over the internet. If someone should come there and says, you know what, you tell me all of these stuff, how can you prove all of this stuff what you have shared with me or what you have shared with the public now? How can you prove that you have helped create this type of a music? You were in the runnings in the meaning that you were playing along with Peter Tosh and Bob Marley, them Rita Marley, and the Wailers, where you helped create the Wailers band and stuff like that. How can, because people gonna challenge you. People are gonna challenge you.
Well,
So
I
how
don't
can
care
you?
about the doubtful Thomas. They are not in my mind. I don't do that because people are curious
Mhm.
and they don't know things and then just formulate things and say this is that, this is that.
But
So
would
I
you?
don't think about people when I'm in this movement.
Mhm.
It wasn't. I think about people when I'm doing a show. I like to say a big crowd. That's how I think about people.
Mhm.
Other than that,
They're
I'm
irrelevant to
not
you.
trying to please people to tell them this, that, and force things down you and you explain this. People don't know nothing. How could I explain anything to you?
And
You
it's
know
gonna be
nothing.
difficult for him. So like me,
Mhm.
I'm a young man, and I didn't just take him for his word because didn't happen like that. At my meeting him,
Mhm.
and I can be a witness for this part of the story. I was working with the mayor. I already had established
Which mayor?
mayor of Mount Vernon, Ernest
Oh, okay,
Davis,
okay.
right? And I was working in the recreation department with him. We putting on shows and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, as a young Jamaican, I was able to gather my own community and have people come out, knowing that I was working with the mayor, right?
Mhm.
So, I got introduced to him through basically knowing the mayor's daughter. The mayor's daughter introduced me to the Meditations band, right?
Mhm.
The Meditation band is a known figure in reggae music, right? Um, then when I met him, we were putting on a show, and when he came, now they was like, "Do you know who that is?" So I was like, "I don't know who it is. This is the common Jamaican crowd that we had at the event
Mhm.
that me and the mayor put on." So they're letting me know, like, you should look into him because he's a legend. So it's my fellow Jamaican elders who told me about him.
You told her about
Right?
right.
I said, okay, but I don't just work like that. I don't just take it for.
You're gonna do
word of
your
mouth.
research.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do my research. When he didn't even know I knew Meditations. When I called Meditations for an interview to see if they knew him, they already knew him. As soon as he met him, he's like, "Oh, what's up?" So I didn't expect that they had prior history, but Meditations and him coming from Bob Marley era as well.
Oh,
And
okay.
he testified.
Meditation is a group of
Singing
Yeah,
group.
singing group. Oh, okay.
Well, I really want to touch on those things, because all of the artists, we have to do a lot of things again, because something, they all need to be mentioned because of the hard work and the perseverance and the faith in what they do,
Mhm.
and because they are linked up to me right now because I'm the one who create the music, the beat, everything. We start going now and we love it. Meditation them come from back to, and it's between them. It's just on a 3 mile or so. And we rehearsed up the road at Union Avenue from 3 miles. So I get to know the brethren them. I used to take my guitar and go down and cook a pot and we love a dumpling and we eat and drink and play music and play for the brethren them and it's how we survive. We cook pot.
Mm-hmm.
And because we are hungry people, so we always have to have some food to eat and we delight in that. Now the meditation them break out and make a hit record, A Woman's Like a Shadow. And the record hit in Bermuda, which is a good thing. I will go on tour in Bermuda. My first tour.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
My first tour is meditation.
It's with meditation.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my first
That
tour.
was your first tour with
First tour,
meditation.
I didn't even know.
meditation didn't even have music. Them have too little music and me have to open the show for them. I have to close the show. So that come like me the star of the show, but me not the star of the show. It's the man them show. But because of my experience, I know a lot of tunes. I used to even cover Bob Marley tune them. Because when Bob Marley come, nobody was singing Bob Marley tune. Not even radio station didn't want to play the Wailers. No. And we got through enough difficulties getting played. In Bermuda now, I get to find out that 2-7 Clash put out. Joe Gibbs didn't make me know nothing about those things. 2-7 Clash was already a hit in Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Then I go down to the record store and then start play a song, play all the music they want me play and play as if them know say you this, I you this. And, that was a big success. Because even now, until Craigland, him have fans from Bermuda follow him all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good experience. Well, physically, it was great because we didn't have good accommodation. At one stage, we have a good accommodation.
And not to cut him, I also met the Grammy Award-winning artist, Black Uru, in Jamaica. I flew down to Jamaica, and I met Icon and Black Uru.
These are legendary people.
And they broke it down to me to really let me know that this man is coming from the root of it all, and telling me that
He's one of the pillars of
pillars of reggae music, and to hear it from a Grammy Award-winning Jamaican artist, that one of the first Grammy Award-winning one, it meant a lot to me to know, like, okay, this is serious business I'm dealing with here. You know what I'm saying?
I sit here and as I said, we interact before where we're doing some other interviews with Leroy, and this night, even what we had done 2 days ago or 3 days, it cannot fulfill. We're definitely going to have a second show, a third show, a fourth show, because it's too much to compile in one night. And we are appreciate for Leroy giving a lot of contribution to this thing, the type of music what we listen to. And I it's not much, but I've seen younger folks, younger adults, teenagers too, who ventures into these type of older music, the type of music what Leroy would create. And I've seen is not much, but at least people, I listen to those type of music too. I mean, because I'm kind of from those type of era, listening to Bob Marley lyrics in those times, and Peter Tosh them and stuff like that. Even today's time, now and then we vibes out. We have a spot where originally where the garage is from, where we host on our weekly shows. We play dominoes there and vibes out, and we listen to these type of music. We have a mixture because we have young guys and old guys there too. So we have a more mixture of music where we play some dancehall, we play some oldies, some reggaes, and music that coming from Leroy hands, back in those days and stuff like that. But it's been a blessing, man, to sit here with a legend, and as what you said, you don't really care who wanna
Stranger cool.
right. You know what you have done. You know what God has done to your hands, and to bring you this far and help produce and help build up and help create a music now that today's society enjoying, and even take out of depression.
Yes.
People go out in depression of certain things, and I know reggae music is one of them that helps them recover. I know there's a medical institution that some of the patients, to keep them calm, they listen to reggae music,
Yes.
and it's a great respect to have someone sitting here in today's time, because most of these guys have passed already, and you will still have Mr. Leroy around here still, can share with some history and can correlate with some things. And there's gonna be always question, people gonna always question you and try to
It's true.
undermine certain things and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know what you know.
Oh
You and
yes.
God know what you know, and that's how you have to look at in life. And if they believe you, they believe you. If they don't,
Yeah.
they
I mean, and I've
it's
validated. I've seen the passports of his travel
mm,
with in that time, so I've seen the real deal.
the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I can take us to Switzerland. That's Icon show. We go do an album. Eva Kisler, she is a powerful lady. She make everything happen.
Mhm.
But then it wasn't the time when them accept weed. And we are ganja smoking people. So we have to have weed, and the man not hiding them weed. Anyway, them go them have the weed. So we smoke weed till everybody out of the hotel. Them know what we said about
Oh,
it.
knows ever weed about
So
this place.
all we end up with that Eva liquor apartment. And, and she have one big dog who sleep in a big couch. And everybody take away the big couch. And this dog so sensitive, the dogs that watch you go to the take away seat, they take away bed, they take away everything. But something, we have a great time in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a great time in Switzerland. And them didn't know nothing about the weed at this time. Well, them know about the weed, but it's a law against weed. weed. Weed is the most persecuted thing that we know in a Belgium.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you, you ever get the chance to be in a real studio session with Leroy Hamilton making a rhythm,
Mm.
and you will be amazed to watch him play and hear what is coming out of that
Mhm.
speaker, and watching him play. You don't need nothing more than that.
Yeah, we are trying that, and one of the things what we're gonna do to later on in post production when we start putting it out, we're gonna get that music what you were playing early on,
Oh,
and we will plug it in. We're gonna plug it directly in, so when we put it in the music, this
Okay,
episode up,
no problem.
it's
Yeah.
raw.
Okay.
It's not playing from a speaker. You're hearing it clear,
right,
beautiful how it was created. So later on down the line, I'm gonna get a copy so we can insert it in the show, and then people can have an experience
one life.
what your music sound like, and where you're growing. And please, people, reach out if you want some type of a beats, music and stuff like that. We have a great engineer, Sean, here. We have a musician here. I mean, we're sitting here with a lot of talents, man. So you can reach out to them. Sean, tell me about your contact information.
Excuse. I
Um,
mean, they're coming right back.
Blast Off. So you can get me on Instagram at Blast Off,
Mhm.
Facebook at Blast Off.
Mhm.
My number is 347-859-0342 if anybody want to contact me directly. I can make a beat for you. I can record you. I also own my own label. I can help you from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? I can teach this whole thing to anyone.
Where your studio located?
Right now I'm working with Rough Riders Records, Rough Riders Studios, and I work with some of the engineers there and people there.
Have you encountered any like quote unquote famous artists yet?
Oh yes, over my years of doing this work, I started out in the radio station like Linkage Radio,
Mhm.
and I met a lot of my Jamaican stars through Linkage, right?
Mhm.
and then as I progress in my own journey to reach higher, that's where I met like Raekwon and those guys, and I did sign contracts, not to mention their name in these times, but like Platinum Recording Studios in Manhattan after I left school. So I saw the inner workings of those things and met famous people there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then reaching out and meeting like Wah and Yonkers and the engineers and Rough Riders. That's where I met other famous people. So
So you've been around, and
yes.
as you develop, you have any Facebook contacts?
Yeah, Blast Off.
Blast off.
Yeah, or
Okay, so
Nine Keys.
you
Number
on
nine.
like three different type of platforms, social media platform, Instagram,
Yes,
Facebook,
Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
and YouTube. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So folks, you have it there. He share with you his full contact if you're looking for music, and the garage along with double TLG Media, double TLG. In fact, we do music videos, documentaries, and movies as well. We have the type of structure, the garage, work in conjunction with double TLG. And if you have anything, you have the music there, you can perform and you can create.
Yep.
You have the musician here, the legendary musician here. We can help put in a piece or two. And then you have our side here where we do the visual side to the music, to the creation. So, hey, listen, you one-stop shop, right?
Definitely.
One-stop
Nine
shop.
Keys, 9KRBLASTOFF. Nine Keys Blast Off. So you'll know me once you find Nine
Once
Keys
you find
Blast
nine.
Off.
So, Mr. Hamilton,
Yes.
I thank you for taking the time out to share. As I
My
said,
pleasure.
this is not this is not going to be first. This is
No, because-
many more to come. And this setting here, what we have, it's unique to us. We like it, and based on Mr. Hamilton, based on his ideas. We decide to take the garage, in the street garage. Where we out here, out as what they said, we outside. And we
Outside.
yeah, we outside, west side, we east side.
One side.
So one side, So I said thank you, sir, for joining.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Sean,
Yeah.
for taking the time out. And as I said, we definitely gonna have more shows,
Yes, sir.
more shows to come. Definitely, this story has to be told. It has to get shared. We have to share this story, and it's not gonna stop here. The buck doesn't stop here. We're gonna continue spreading the
Yes,
word,
sir.
and we're gonna try to set up some more weeks where we can sit here and reminisce and explain and get your thing out there. Who you are, where you're coming from, and how you can inspire some younger folks out there.
Yes, sir.
And to help create and help build up the music in today's society.
True. And I want to say R.I.P. Rest in peace to my good friend Tip. He's the guy that actually introduced DMX to the world, who
Mhm.
was really going to make a move for us, but he passed away.
Oh.
So rest in peace, Tip.
Yeah, rest, give respect to him. May his condolence to his families and stuff like that. So, gentlemen, I thank you again for taking some time out to come in the garage. And Mr. Hamilton, as I said, this is not where the buck stop. We're gonna do some more shows on a regular basis because we have to get this story out. It's too much. We cannot compile so much in one night, but we're gonna get these information out, and we have more shows to come. And you're definitely gonna hear more from him. We have a few things. We have an interview coming out soon with him. We hopefully are trying to do a documentary as well. So it's a lot more is coming from this man hand, from this man knowledge, from this man experience, from this man exposure, and hopefully you inspire someone out there who want to be a part of the music world, and want to contribute to the music world, reggae, and whatever genre that propels you and what you like, that would inspire you. But again, we thank you guys for stopping by the garage,
Respect.
and we love and respect your work, what you have done, And I know you have given your time, but keep up the good work.
Yeah, man. Thank you
Keep
very
up the good
much.
work. I respect the music what I hear, and I hope and pray that someone will take this in consideration, who will listen and hear and say, you know what, yeah man, Mr. Hamilton, him time for him boss, man. Him did a lot of work, a lot of people run over him. Him time for get loose and get him exposure and so forth. So this is one of the things why the garage is there about, and to share people's stories and to sit down and vibes out, things and what's going on in today's reality, and having good hardcore discussions. But thank you again, gentlemen, and
Yes, sir.
hopefully we'll have another time. I don't know if it's next week or 2 weeks from now, but we'll definitely keep you posted for the next event, and we take it. I guess we're having a sequel,
Yes.
our
I
episode.
just say that because it's so much of those elderly artists that sing reggae. Some of them pass because when poor people get into drugs and all to that and mix it with things, they don't survive long.
Mm,
So you will lose guy like Gregor Isaac. And a couple of those guys get caught in this thing and maybe they get a vibe from it first and thing, but it destroy them.
mm,
I have all these artists to say thank you. So we have a lot to perform right here, so on this garage thing, because something. All those artists have to be recognized by me who make the music and can call them names. I can say, look, all these artists play the important part because they're first runner.
right, right.
Yes, and I can give them. I'd like to say thanks to them too because all what they do and promote me,
Right, right.
and I see myself have a piece in everything that they do. And even those people who start to make reggae music when it gets popular, I say thank them too because something. Them have a heart. It
Mm,
takes time to get into this reggae thing and to get into the how you do it. And
Sure.
I respect their effort,
mm,
knowing that I benefit from every one of them single-handedly. All of them.
True.
I'd like to say thank you to all those artists who you will hear about in the next session.
okay.
Definitely. And I want to leave off with thanking my family who gave me a chance in the bigger labels like Rough Rider label, like Glenn and Greg. These are top people that really work with DMX um our Biggie,
Mhm,
hip hop
mhm.
artist Biggie. Greg recorded Biggie a lot of Biggie hit songs. So I thank them for giving me opportunity, and you never know what's gonna happen from here with all the movements that we're doing. So thank you to everyone that played a part in my career as well.
Definitely, definitely. And you know, just to say thank you folks again for stopping by here. We're gonna plug the music right after this so you can hear Mr. Leroy tunes. And feel free to contact him. There's information there. You can also reach out to the garage if you need to reach him too, and we'll definitely create that link for you guys too. So we thank you tonight for joining us one more time at the garage. We hope to see you sometime again next week, same time, same place with our different shows. Stay tuned for more tunes coming to your way. Stay tuned for more episodes of different topics we talk about. We have a show where we deal with on Tuesday nights where we talk about law, politics, financial, and technology. Those are Tuesday nights. It's called Mike and Mike. Mike, one of them called Mike, and my other partner called Mike. We have these every Tuesday night. We do pre-recording. Sometimes we do live. So that's another episode, another show what which is underneath the garage. We reproduce as well. But there's more things coming our way through the garage, and just stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. We cannot do it without you. Until next time, same place. Peace out.
Right. give I one life. I live it morning, noon and night. Most I give I one life. I live it morning, noon and night. I love my one life. Yes, I love my one life. The most I give I one life. I live it morning, noon and night. Yes, Jah give me one life. I live it morning, noon and night. Jah give me one life. Yes, my friend. Jah give me one life. I love my one life. Do you love your life? Live and let others live. If you love your one life, live and let others live. Do you love your one life? Yes, my friend. Life, sweet life. Life, sweet life. Let me live this one life. Life, the most I live I one life. I live it morning, noon and night. Yes, Jah give me one life. I live it morning, noon and night. Jah give me one life. I live it morning, noon and night. Yes, my friend. I love my one life. My sweet life. Only one life. Sweet life. Let me live this one life. Jah give me this life. I live it morning, noon and night. Yes, Jah give me this one life. I live it morning, noon and night. Yes, me friend. Life is sweet. Do you love your one life? 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 Yes, Jah give you one life. Live it morning, noon and night. Jah give me life. Live it morning, noon and night. Life, sweet yes, life. My friend. Live this one life. I love my one life. Life, sweet life. Let me live life. This one life. Life, sweet life. Let me live this one life. Life, sweet life. Let me live this one life. Jah give me one life. I live it morning, noon and night. Yes, Jah give me one life. I love it and I live it. Yes, my friend. Yes, yes, my friend. This one life. Yes, sweet life. Oh, one sweet life. Let me live with one life. Love your life. Love your life. Love your one life. This one life. Life, live and let others live. If you love your one life.